Good morning. Welcome to day 7 recap for the AZT Showdown 800-mile journey. We are coming at you for the 7th day in a row here, and looks like we do have a check-in this morning for some of Mike's crew. But real quick, we want to start the day with a look at what Mike did yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up on the screen now. Give me 1 second here. Still have our Arizona Trail Tracker. There we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull up Mike. He did 2 epic days in a row here. So 2 days ago, he did, I think, over 70 miles. And also, where did his... So this is probably his toughest day yet, was the last 2 days here. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm trying to check out Ben and these guys in the chat. Awesome. So here we go. We've got Mike's run yesterday. This was 74.3 miles over the course of 33 hours elapsed. And he says here in the description, worst section of trail I've ever ran. Took me 7 hours to go 10 miles. Almost hit the SOS button on my inReach a couple times. Just got to the van and pounded a bunch of wings, steak, sweet potato fries, and some Rebel ice cream. Gonna sleep until 7 tomorrow morning and try and reset. So if we do some math here, he actually left 2 o'clock on Thursday, I believe, from the Pine Trailhead. Yep. So he did, I think, get a little bit of rest there. And 33 hours later, so that would be 9 hours on top of 2 p.m. So 11 p.m. last night is when he got to his crew finally. So I was able to speak to Ben, or we did reach Ben earlier, and then I spoke to him. They did connect with Mike at the Mount Pelee Trailhead, as we were talking about yesterday. And so Ben was parked up there. Let's go ahead and, yeah, let's look at the tracker real quick. I don't know that it was working this morning, but I did get word that he is back out on trail, so rest assured. Let's zoom in here. Man, getting so close to that greater Phoenix area. Pretty wild. So Mike was up in the Matazals. As you can see, this green area is the wilderness. And if we zoom in right here, there's a road right near mile 384. Not sure why that's not coming up, but right there, Mount Pelee Trailhead. So they met him there, and I believe they might have walked in some supplies. And right down here is where he rested. So this is on the Highway 87. But enough of that talk. Let's go over to Ben now, and he'll give us all the juicy details, I am sure. Ben, can you hear me this morning? I need to unmute you. Good morning.
All right.
I can hear you.
Well, how are we doing?
Hey, you know, day 7, we're still here, so that's a good thing. How about you tell me, where are you guys at? Is Mike on trail right now? We don't see the tracker.
Oh, really?
It's hidden behind our trackers.
Okay, I think it's hidden behind our trackers. We had to recharge it.
Got it.
Last night, and he has it on him. So
okay,
if I need to, I'll send Bronco Billy a message to reset it.
Got it. Okay, right on.
But I'll give you guys an update on kind of yesterday. It was pretty eventful and pretty suspenseful, I guess, on the crewing side, and probably even more so on Mike's side. He got into a really difficult section that slowed him way down. He went through 2 nights trying to make up some time that he lost during the mud section, and made a decision to keep moving forward, hoping that he could make up some time, but didn't realize he was going to get into some more technical terrain that was going to slow it down some more. So misjudgment on how much nutrition to take, how long it was going to take him, and everything like that, and then how hard the sleep deprivation was going to hit his mental, fortitude. But what we ended up doing is having 2 crew members hike in some supplies. So we went to the Mount Pelee ahead of him, trailhead. They hiked it in about 10 miles to get to him, and they caught up with him. He took about an hour dirt nap in his bivvy, and then got up and continued on. And even after that hour bivvy nap and some nutrition, he actually made really decent time from that point all the way to the Mount Pelee trailhead. There, me and Jeff Browning had decided that we wanted him to sleep there to get more of a reset. Mike didn't want any of that. I'll just be honest with you. There was no talking him into to slow down. He is really, his carrot, he said, was his wife and his kids, and a softer bed in the RV with a possible shower and hot food, which anybody in these long distances know that that's a pretty huge carrot. So it motivated him, and he actually, Derek Lytle, his videographer, jumped in with him from Mount Pelee, took him all the way down to Sunflower, and that's currently where we're at. They got in about 11:30 last night, so Mike probably got to bed a little after midnight, and he slept all the way till 7 a.m., where Jeff Browning was our morning wake-up call, bringing us some breakfast.
Nice.
And they got out the door probably about 8:15, 8:30. So they're back on trail right now, headed towards the Roosevelt area. If anybody knows the Roosevelt Lake area, but
Four Peaks first.
Yeah, he's going over 4 Peaks right now. We're actually going to try to go up and do a crewing location if we can get there.
Yep.
And it looked like the road's a decent road that goes up and over, that we actually can access them. And then he'll come down to that Roosevelt Reservoir area. But Rogers Trough is our go-to goal. We might do another short sleep break in between, but we're trying to get him through these Superstition Mountains and then on to the desert, and then it's home free, right? It's like, hey, you already passed the halfway mark last night.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because he's over 400 miles now, and so you're saying he's going to try and push to Rogers Trough by tomorrow morning?
Yeah, well, I got to sit down and do some of the timetables and the math, but it all depends on the trail and the conditions that they find up there. The hope is that it won't be as bad as he had up there in the Mazatol area, but it's all a gamble. You never know at this point. Kind of err on the worst scenario, because that's just kind of what we've been getting, and in every section is the worst case scenario.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't been out in that section of the Superstitions lately, or 4 Peaks, but I know that there was a big fire that went across 4 Peaks, so the vegetation may not be too bad as of yet, but we'll see. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be the deciding factor of when he gets to Rogers Trough. But that's kind of like, we're just kind of focused in on Rogers Trough as a carrot, a goal.
Yep.
It's going to change up his scenery for another 100 miles. We're hoping to maybe roll them into some night sections through the desert after Rogers Trough. So we're trying to strategically plan that as well. But it's so funny because you sit there and you brainstorm and brainstorm and brainstorm over the time frames, and everything just goes out the window.
Sure, yeah. At this point, you kind of have to take what the trail gives you for this part of it.
Yep.
We do see Billy Oliver in the chat saying that there's a change in weather rolling in that may benefit Mike. Some cooler temperatures rolling in, and he says they're calling for possibly 1 to 2 inches of snow on Mount Lemmon this weekend.
Dude, that would be rad. Wouldn't that make for an awesome adventure?
Oh gosh, yeah. Hopefully not too much more than a couple inches, but I know, you guys being from Utah are pretty used to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you get used to it, but after 600 miles, it could probably get pretty old. But the overgrowth, people don't think about it. Even in a sprinkle, just a sprinkle for like 10 minutes, all of a sudden you got 10 miles of soaked legs and feet because of all the overgrowth catching the water, and it's just wiping on your legs.
Gotcha.
While you go through it. And now you're running in soaked feet, so now you got to really be concerned about changing socks more often, applying more squirrel's nut butter, and just make it so you don't blow your feet up with the wetness.
Yeah, I'm curious how you're doing, Ben. How is your hip, and how are you feeling?
Well, I hiked in that half mile to Mike, and my hip definitely reminded me that it's not happy. I can just standing around sometimes for a little bit longer period, it starts to hurt a little bit, but there's no striking pain. It's just like it feels like my hips are out or my something's shut down and it just aches. So, but other than that, my feet are starting to look like I actually have legs and not big, huge, long stumps. And my toes are kind of subsiding and stuff like that. So I'm going back to normal.
Yeah, I mean, you still put in a massive effort those first few days that I'm sure you're going to feel it for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel like I did probably the toughest 200 that I've ever done in that 200 section.
100%. Well, if you guys have any questions in the chat for Ben about how Mike is doing today, it sounds like, what was his mental energy like this morning when he got up and was getting breakfast in?
Well, he didn't want the guy is so, like, I don't know how to explain it. When you're trailing him and you're pacing him and everything like that, he listens to you, and you most of the time, not last night. He listens to you and he does what you say, even though he looks like it might be the most uncomfortable thing. And this morning, he was just like, I can't wake up. Like it felt like he was in a super, super fog. Obviously, the 2 days really took its toll. But he was able to get such deep sleep last night that he was having a hard time waking up. So we had to bust out some energy drink caffeine to kind of get him a boost and get him out the door. But after it kicked in, I mean, I'm very, like hopeful, I guess you could say, or like encouraged, positive that things are going to start to turn around in the next day or two. Like it's going to be a fun, wild ride for everybody watching, because I think he's going to, it's going to be a nail biter, or he's just, if he keeps the momentum, there's a huge chance that he's gonna take the FKT if we can keep him healthy.
Yeah, for sure. Right on. I was just taking a quick look. Have you been following Eric Halston at all?
We really appreciate. We like what you're doing with this, like the live, because all the different people that are in the middle of this. Doing their own FKT on this. It's really exciting to get. I mean, I'm a viewer in myself watching the show and seeing what they're doing, and it's pretty awe-inspiring. He's the guy that's doing it self-supported, right? That's just like a day behind. Like he started a day behind Mike.
Yeah, he started 1 day behind Mike, and he is in Pine right now.
That's amazing.
So he is
dude,
hauling.
hat off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see,
Oh,
Mike, because Mike was there. Let's see, not yesterday, but the day before. So he's not that far behind, really, pace wise, which is pretty incredible.
I mean, to be self-supported and to have to take care of yourself, take care of your feet, take care of all the little things.
Sure.
Like from a mental standpoint, you're not calling anybody to come.
I mean, there's pluses and minuses too, because he also has everything he needs for the trail on his person, which I know has been challenging for Mike in some sections where, the crew can't get to you. You're kind of been relying upon it, and if that doesn't show up, it can really put you in a hole. So that's going to be fun to keep watching that as it unfolds. We do have a couple more questions in the chat if you have a minute, Ben.
Oh yeah. I'm on until the show's off. We're just
awesome.
waiting. So
that sounds great. Well, we had someone here, Frank. He may not have tuned in. He asked, "Did Ben drop?" Because this was about the spot where you thought that maybe this would be like the high five point.
This is Sunflower was definitely, and I kind of did well, I have a post built. I haven't finished it, but I did a story last night of our picture of pretty much the intersection of a kind of near the halfway mark. And I was like, I just kind of like, I guess this is our halfway meetup,
Not in how you ideally envisioned it.
Not how I wanted it.
That's kind of how it happened.
Not how I wanted it, but.
We got Bryce Brooks in the chat here. Any idea how Mike's legs and shins are doing?
Oh. He's taping them. Yeah, he's taping them. He's trying to prevent any type of flare-ups, and he's been using his percussor gun into his calves a lot to loosen them up. They figured out that the tightening of the calves were kind of a good contributor to the way his shins were feeling, and so he's been focused on hitting the calves and everything. But the dude is, I think he's dialed in his hydration and his electrolytes pretty well, other than getting caught out into a couple sections with very little because of not the time frame and the slowing. But the guy looks lean and mean this morning. We should have had a picture of him with his shirt off. It was awesome. The guy looks like a poster child.
He's maybe lost some weight already over the last few days, like the last week.
Lost something, but yeah, he's looking good. I'm just super positive that things are going well. But yeah, his shins are holding, and he didn't totally complain about him this morning.
And we've got a comment here from Epix Nikros. How many donuts has he had to eat? We're supposed to get snow this weekend at his home in Smithfield. Is he pounding any donuts, or is he mostly sticking to the steak and the protein and fats?
Right now, his go-to most favorite is actually the same thing that was my most favorite, is the I think it's the Birch Blender paleo pancakes mixed in with a keto brick. And if anybody doesn't know what a keto brick, it's like almost like a coconut fat, salted chocolate brick that's like 1,000 calories. But he's doing half of it, and we're putting it into and melting it and putting it into the pancake.
Oh, man.
And then we do the Mountain Ops protein in there, and we add blueberries and bananas to it, and
vanilla, the RX vanilla almond butter.
RX vanilla almond butter for the spread on top of that, and the maple syrup. Go low carb runner.
Go low carb runner. We have a comment here from Richard Wilson. I'd like to thank Ben for the inspiration to cut my soft flask tube shorter. It's a game changer.
Oh, these things, I'll just tell you. Look at this. So I found these I'll just do a shout out to Hydro Pack. These are 1 liter.
Wow.
Soft flasks. And then you can get the extension thing, and I just cut them shorter. And Ultra Spire vest, the Zygos 4, it's such a money vest, but the thing is, the pockets in the front are so deep that regular 500 milliliter flasks tend to, there's wasted room.
They get lost in there.
Yeah, sometimes they fall down in there and they're dangling in there. So I found these and they fit perfect. So anybody that's a huge Ultra Spire fan like I am, and that wants a little bit more capacity, the cool thing is you're wearing 2 liters on your front, which actually causes you to lean forward just a tad, which actually causes you to get into more of a proper running position. I actually could feel the weight taking me uphill. It's if anybody's into chi running and stuff like that. So it's actually, it was money for me. So just an idea if anybody out there like that's really into gear and geeking out about stuff like that.
Nice. Any other thoughts from the trail, Ben, on today, or anything else while you're out there?
No, I encourage people, maybe ping me on my social media. We have Starlink. We're trying to keep up with some stuff. Lots of questions. I can't really take the time to answer questions, but if you're interested in coming out and showing some trail love to Mike, bringing some treats to the crew, we're self-sufficient, but at the same time, when surprises show up, it's like a gift from heaven. I'll just be honest with you. So if you want to come out, ping me, ping Sarah, but we'll kind of give you where we're at, where we're going, and maybe a rough, and you got to be very patient, a rough time frame of when we're going to get to the other places and stuff like that. But it's such a huge morale boost especially for Mike, and to see people show up and just cheer them on. And when you're deep in the well, 400 miles in 1 week, and you're trying to push another really rugged terrain, seeing that, he doesn't get to see all this interaction on the live show like we do. He's out there. And so that little interaction of just people coming and it boosts you, gives you more morale of why you're doing this, that people actually care, people actually are inspired. And so if you're in the Phoenix, Tucson area, we just absolutely love to have you come out and hang out with us, and so that would be my thing. And then also a bit, another plug, and I want to plug it every out here doing this for 2 causes, actually 3 causes, and that's Rod's Heroes, that's Bigger Than the Trail, and that's also the Arizona Trail Association. We'll be doing a donation proceeds to them as well. And and one like someone asked me yesterday, they're confused because it's actually Rod's website that's holding the donation, and they just understand that donation will then Rod the split. And so please, please consider donating. If you're inspired, motivated, please consider donating. And also the person on the other side of that donation side, awesome. We got like $7,500 worth of prize that we're raffling off at the end of the project. Every dollar gets a raffle. People like Lincoln Gold, Mountain Hop, Nutrition, and Peter, gift cards. There's so much stuff. Fire packs, fire belts, lights. There's a ton of stuff you can get on that. So it's
All right, Ben, I think we're losing you a little bit. Your audio is breaking up just a bit. But I can continue.
My Bluetooth sent over to the truck. And what was it on? I was charging my phone. Our videographer turned on the. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. Something happened like a minute ago.
Oh, my videographer turned on the truck, and my Bluetooth went over to my truck.
Don't wonder.
Where did I leave off? Because I was saying some really important stuff.
Yeah, well, you were talking about the causes you guys are supporting with rods bigger than the trail, and the fact that you can donate, and it'll be split between them and the Arizona Trail.
Yeah, and then the perk on the other side of that is that every dollar donated gets you a raffle ticket into our $7,500 product giveaway with all our different brands, tons of gear, tons of gift cards, and that's just a thank you from them, throwing that in to those that donate, and an incentive to the more money you donate, the more odds you have of winning some awesome prizes.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, if you guys want to go check that out, greatwesternadventures.com is where you can do that. Well, Ben, I think I'm going to do a sweep of some of your guys' social posts from yesterday, and we will for sure talk to you guys tomorrow.
Awesome. Really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody tuning in.
Thanks so much for the check-in. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick roundup here of some social posts from yesterday. Here is the crew keeping busy, lifting some weights. Here they are. This is up at the Mount Pelee trailhead yesterday as they drove up into the Matazal Mountains waiting for Mike to come through. It looks like quite the team has assembled here. And here is Ben. Here's Mike moving pretty well, and this is that meetup point, the halfway. Of course, Ben would have preferred to still be on trail at this point, I'm sure. And there they are. That is, I can't quite read it, but I think it is about the halfway mark there, just before mile 400. Some great images here. You can see there Mike is moving on out of the Matazal Wilderness area here. Looks a little chilly up there. He's got his long sleeve hoodie on. And that looks like Jeff Browning has made his way there. This is this morning, so this is leaving their camp. There is Jeff. He's got his coach now with him on board. These are some funny photos. Awesome. And there's one of those hats you can pick up to support Bigger Than the Trail. And I believe that Derek had some stuff too from his time in the Matazals. You can see some wildlife out there. And there is Mike and Derek last night on the trail coming into Sunflower. Pretty amazing. And over here in the chat, Aaron Flesher says, "See you soon. Can't wait to run on that overgrown rocky trail in southern Arizona with Mike." He's got some good support. Whoops. And then we got Bryce Brooks here. "Mike will have a scenic day today with Roosevelt Lake and Four Peaks. Glad he's still out crushing. Wonder if he'll get a burger at the grill at the marina." That's maybe a little tip from the trail right there. And there we go. Thanks for checking in, Bryce. Appreciate you. All right. Before we sign off, I do want to take a minute. Let's see if Mike has any updates. Looks like he does. So this is from out on the trail last night, it looks like, as well. We just saw some of these. Looks like they're resharing some of the scenes from this morning and yesterday. Oh, there we go. That's a new one. So you got quite the team. It's growing. And they are not too far from Phoenix now. Sunflower, where they're at, is about 45-minute drive. And he'll be crossing through Four Peaks and the Superstitions today, hopefully. Before we sign off, I do want to take a quick check-in with some of the other amazing things happening on the Arizona Trail right now. So Eric Halston, as we mentioned earlier in the show, is now in Pine as of currently. So he is pulling 50-mile days out there. He says here, yep, 52 miles day 5, 51 miles day 6. It looks like he is boosting up his caffeine after feeling sleepy throughout the day. But he is pulling some long nights and long days. 300 miles in 5 days, 9 hours. He, of course, is going for Josh Perry's self-supported record. This is his tracker as well. He has a bit of a... He has this linked in his Instagram. So as a self-supported hiker, you, of course, need to go get supplies sometimes. You don't have a crew with you to do that. So you can see he left the trail and is in the town of Pines. So he's probably getting a resupply there. Really curious if he is at the grocery store or where he is resupplying this morning. Our other through hiker FKT attempt from Krista Fasciano is also happening. Let's see what she has been up to. After 6 days, she's at 278 miles, according to this report, which is a 46.4 mile per day average. She's moving right along, and I'm sure by tomorrow we'll have her 300 mile update. She's been doing video check-ins at every 100 miles. And finally, we're going to wrap up the show with a look at the Arizona Trail race. This is the bike race. So there is a 300 mile option that goes in southern Arizona from Parker Canyon Lake to Picket Post Trailhead, and then we also have the full 800. And it looks like Alex Schultz is, I believe, leading the 300 northbound, unless someone's already finished. But that'll be the finish right there. So he will finish today up at Picket Post Trailhead. And then we've got Will Bodawus, I believe, also in the 300. Yep. And here's your first place 800-mile rider, Hefe Branham. And that's going to be the interesting thing to see if they will cross paths with Mike. They will have to take an alternate route around the wilderness. So let's see here. Yeah, they actually might not meet up at all. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like the red route here... They could either take the red or the green, it looks like. Let's see. Southbound 800, northbound 800. So, yeah, he may not cross paths with these bikers. Anyways, that about wraps us up for today. Thank you all for tuning in to the Day 7 recap. We will see you tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. for a check-in with Mike and the team. We'll keep tabs on him. And thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.